What is going on in the city of Maricopa? I am telling you, it is exploding. This little tiny town that started in the early 2000s was nothing but a train stop. I'm telling you, it was nothing but pastures and desert. And in the last 23 years, it has grown from just a few people that live there to now over 70,000 people. And they are anticipating doubling that population over the next 15 years.
Coincidence? I think not.
Insane, right? So what's the draw? What's going on in Santan Valley? I am going to share the top 10 reasons I love the city of Maricopa and what's going on. Let's start with housing. That's the number one reason that people are choosing the city of Maricopa.
It's number one.
So here's the thing. The city of Maricopa is just outside of the greater Phoenix area. It's probably the first town you think of, in my opinion, when you think of affordable housing.
I guess I can afford that if I cut down on my beer.
Yes, there are other areas of part of town, but to be only 30 minutes from the major employment, massive freeway access, and a hustling and bustling part of the greater Phoenix area, there's a lot to be said for Maricopa.
It's pretty cool.
Now, here's the thing. In Arizona, we are really about owning real estate. So we don't see a whole lot of vertical buildings. We don't see condominiums very often. We don't see townhomes hardly ever. We don't see multiple dwellings like duplexes and fourplexes. And we don't see a lot of apartment complexes, especially here in these more rural areas where housing is affordable. Now, that's not to say that there aren't rentals. There are some build-to-rent properties out here now. If you are looking for a somewhat smaller single-family home-like feel, but you don't have anybody attached to your walls, although those would be great to buy, those are for rent only.
Darn it.
And they're talking about getting a new apartment complex in the city of Maricopa. But for the most part, it's super spread out. And if you are looking for space, this is your town. So we right now are seeing builders from all price points. Well, actually, all low to medium price points.
You're welcome.
There's no super expensive homes in the city of Maricopa. Your dollar really goes a long way. We have new construction from like Ashton Homes. We have Brightland Homes. We have Cahovnanian. I almost always say that wrong.
You can do it.
Lennar is also building out there. Not my favorite, but Richmond American Homes, I'll tell you. Everyone is flocking to the lakes at Rancho El Dorado. One of my faves, and it has everything that it seems like every buyer wants. We have single level floor plans with 3 full bathrooms, quarter-acre lots, RV garages. And here's the thing, guys. The most expensive that has sold all year in the city of Maricopa with new construction, are you ready? That was a Richmond American home on the lake for $650,000.
Is that for real?
Now, if that's too rich for your blood, you can also get into a home in the high 200s.
Inconceivable.
Brand spanking new. We're talking full warranty, no worry about roof, air conditioning, windows. All you gotta do is put in your backyard landscaping. And like I said, there are still prime lots located in the city of Maricopa. I'm telling you, there's construction going on everywhere. Now, how does this affect the resale market? This is a great time for buyers to get in there because I'll tell you, resale owners who have lived in their home for a few years have a lot of equity. So they're given some smoking deals too. But if you are looking for, let's just say, a rather unique home, like let's just say 5 bedroom, 3 bath, 4 car garage, a swimming pool, golf course lot, those are a rarity. On a quarter acre, you can pick one up fully furnished for the mid 700s.
No, I believe you. It's just the craziest thing I've ever heard.
I'm telling you, there's so many opportunity and options, and your dollar goes a long way in the city of Maricopa. Number 2 is going to be jobs. Let's talk about jobs. What's going on? Maricopa County does a great job by building these, they're called commute sheds. If you look at what the average homeowner is commuting here in the greater Phoenix area for employment, it's 30 minutes. That's the comfort level. I know if you're coming from like somewhere like myself, the Bay Area, and you're like, oh, if it's 45 minutes or an hour, I'm okay. Not in Arizona. In fact, if it's 30 minutes, you're probably going to gripe about it anyways.
Keep it real, homies.
Here's the good thing. We are going to see expansion on the freeway systems that will help alleviate some of that congestion that we currently are experiencing from the city of Phoenix, the Phoenix metropolitan area, down to Maricopa. Not only are we already seeing that expansion of Interstate 10, and we're going to be seeing almost $1 billion more invested in that freeway widening.
That's a lot of money.
But we're going to see widening of 347 and an overpass that will help, again, alleviate that stoplight that creates the congestion. It's a nightmare. Back to jobs. So most of the jobs, if you're talking anything other than small entrepreneurial, or maybe you're a dentist and you own a dental practice down in Maricopa, or you're working at one of the retail or restaurants, if you are looking for any kind of corporate jobs, you're probably going to be going, for the most part, up to the Phoenix area. The great part is, if you work for one of the technology companies along the Price Corridor in the city of Chandler, you are only 35-minute drive away. But here's what's exploding. We're starting to see more and more jobs also pop up in Casa Grande. Let me tell you, Casa Grande is a little bit of a small, older city. It's not as plentiful, let's just put it that way. Let me emphasize, old and a higher crime rate. So if you work at one of the new construction or new companies down that is opening in Casa Grande, because it really is exploding down there for employment, Maricopa is a strong contender for a place to live. Like, it's a great middle point. You're right smack dab between Chandler and Casa Grande. But anybody that tells you you're close to Tucson, blow them off, because that's not accurate.
Oh, you got me! Okay, fine.
There are so many jobs in the greater Phoenix area, and being the #1 state and greater Phoenix area,
it's #1 in the state.
Take it away! With high-paying jobs moving in, we are going to continue to see people moving out further and further. And so that 30-minute commute, that's the max that we're okay with, is going to start to get longer. So people are going to go out a little bit further to get these smoking deals on these homes. So jobs, I don't necessarily see a whole lot of new jobs coming into Maricopa. I've done a ton of research with their economic development department and everything that they have going on, even their commercial sites and things like that. There might be some manufacturing or some warehouse, but at the time of this video, this girl's telling you don't expect anything. Even if somebody was to acquire land right now to build some sort of manufacturing facility, it would be a long time before it was up and running. Number 3, I have to tell you, is schools. Okay, schools. If you go on my resident website, the website that I love, which is greatschools.org, but don't use that, because I'm telling you, it only shows you some of the schools. I don't know why it's not picking up all the charter schools.
Get it together, man.
That's what Maricopa is really known for. If you look at what the public school ratings are in the city of Maricopa, no bueno.
Shoot, what a bummer.
But when you look into a little bit more detail, you are going to discover some fantastic charter schools. What are charter schools? Here in the state of Arizona, we have open enrollment. So even if you live within this particular boundary of a school, that doesn't mean you have to go to that school. You have choices between public schools, private schools, charter schools, Montessori schools, micro schools. There are all kinds of schools. There are families that drive quite a bit to get kids into certain schools. And here's the thing, there are several in the city of Maricopa that I'm going to share with you. First one is Heritage Academy. Heritage Academy is a 6th through 12th grade. And I'm telling you, if you go online and you look at their reviews, you are going to be blown away. This is a fantastic school. Parents that have children in the school they say it's just unbelievable. Also have Leading Edge, which is a K through 6 school. And we have Legacy Traditional, which you'll find legacy schools throughout the greater Phoenix area. That is also a K through 8. And there's a smaller one called Sequoia Pathway Academy that's K through 12, which is super cool for the kids. It's a smaller school and you can keep your kids in the same school all that journey. It's amazing. Also, for after high school, we have Central Arizona College, which is fantastic proximity to the city of Maricopa. And here's something super cool. So just to let you know, the greater Phoenix area is kind of more of an ASU school, but U of A, which is down in Tucson, has their agricultural center right here in Maricopa. So you're going to see a lot of wildcats that are loving it up here. If you are looking for that kind of agricultural education, you are going to love what's called MAC, Maricopa Agricultural Center, and it's part of U of A. It has all kinds of programs for kids even. It's over 2,000 acres. So you want to learn more about farming and water situation in Arizona, right here in the city of Maricopa, you'll be very knowledgeable.
I'm so smart.
Let's go to number 4. Now, this again was something that they needed to overcome, and we have seen that in the last couple of years, and there's more coming in. So the medical right now, there is a full facility out there called Banner Health Center. So it is nice that if there's any type of emergency, Banner Health Center can provide those services. We are also seeing a whole new hospital group called Exceptional Community Hospital. I didn't remember that. They are exceptional, but that's their name. I don't know. It just kind of sounds weird. I think they could have come up with something better. Nonetheless, Exceptional is building out there. They have finished phase 1. When they get done with everything, they too will be a full service center. There is also multiple emergency centers and medical clinics in the city of Maricopa. But again, you can receive full care for pregnancy, for surgeries, everything you need down in the city of Maricopa now, which is quite a relief. I'll tell you, it was quite a jaunt when you were having to be flown, literally, helicopter up to Chandler Regional. And now they can take care of it in the city of Maricopa. That's awesome. I want to get to number 5 because this is really, really super cool. So Arizona as a whole has very low property tax, but the city of Maricopa specifically has even lower property taxes because in 2021, they passed an ordinance to reduce those taxes by another 26 basis points. Although Pinal County is a tad bit higher than Maricopa County, Maricopa, the city of Maricopa, is lower. And so it matches really close with Maricopa, which again, coming from another state, you're going to be blown away with our property taxes. I have to say though, sales tax,
Keep it real.
sorry, it's 8.7. So maybe that's why they changed a little of the property taxes and they took it on back when it was from sales tax. If you buy big things, like for instance, a car, you're going to come up to the greater Phoenix area and you're not going to have to pay 8.7. In fact, there's a little trick, you guys. When I bought my new 4Runner, I basically went to what is the lowest sales tax in the Maricopa County. And that's where I went and bought my truck. There you can save yourself some money. All right, here is number 6. And this one is going to blow you away. The water situation. What is the water situation in the city of Maricopa? And why haven't you heard anything? Like, we've heard about the greater Phoenix area. We've heard our governor saying they're not going to issue any more permits. We've heard that, builders aren't going to be building as much. In fact, we have seen builder permit decline over the last year, but that had a lot to do with consumer sentiment, not necessarily the water situation. So what's the situation in the city of Maricopa?
All right, I'll just text you all the deets and stuff.
They are located right on top of what we call an aquifer. So the city of Maricopa actually gets their water from 3 different places, not 1, not 2, but 3 different places. They get it from surface water, they get it from groundwater, that is surface water. They also get it from the reservoirs, and they get it from an aquifer. There is enough water directly below the city of Maricopa that will last 3 times as many people that live there right now for over 100 years. Or we could say for everyone that lives there right now will last them 300 years.
That's crazy. Okay.
There is a lot of water in the city of Maricopa, and that's why this is a city to watch, because if the rest of the state continues to start to see some sort of a pullback, you're not going to necessarily see that in the city of Maricopa. It will continue to grow into a full city, more so than, for instance, like Santan Valley. And let's take a look at that, meaning that when you compare these two, these are probably the number 2 cities that are compared against each other. The city of Santan Valley is not incorporated. So in order to have fire and police service, you have to pay extra to have your house put out if there was a fire. The town of Maricopa, it is included in your property taxes, which I also just said were just a little bit lower than the city of Santan Valley. So lots of benefits, and there is so much room to grow. Not only do we have a lot of land, we have a lot of water to support that growth. So don't worry about water in the city of Maricopa. Number 7 is going to be, how safe is the city of Maricopa? It is the 4th safest city in the entire state. The city of Maricopa, and again, compared to like Casa Grande, which is probably the 4th from the bottom. I'm just kidding.
I'm kidding.
But it probably is near that bottom part. The city of Maricopa is a very safe environment. They have their own fire and police service. They also are still part of the Pinal County Sheriff's Department, which is hilarious if you ever watch him on social media. He makes a mockery of you if you're doing anything wrong to help curb that behavior. It's actually kind of working, and it's very entertaining.
Are you not entertained?
But if you are looking for a crime-free, safe environment to raise your family or just to be fine living by yourself, city of Maricopa should be at the top of your list. Number 8, and probably my most favorite part to talk about the city of Maricopa. So you're thinking, why is it number 8 then? Well, just because there's so many great things I wanted to share with you, and they're in no particular order.
And the points don't matter.
But this is my favorite. And what could that be? That would be shopping, dining, entertainment, and activities. Who doesn't like that? Here's the thing, guys. I realize your budget is probably going to drive where you're looking, but the lifestyle that you are going to live in each of these areas is equally as important as how much you can afford a home that you like. If you buy a nice home in a city you hate, how not enjoyable would that be?
This is the worst.
And I'm telling you, Maricopa does not disappoint. So let's talk about some of those things. First of all, you have a couple of different choices for groceries, which again, compared to some other areas, this is nice. You have Bash's, which is a locally owned and operated. That's Basha family, actually from Arizona. We also have Fry's. Fry's is kind of my go-to. Just picked up my turkey for Thanksgiving. I'm telling you, Fry's is a great go-to, and their bakery there is top-notch. There also is a Sprouts. There is a Sprout. See, when you see Sprouts sprouting up, you know that your town's on the map.
We've made it. This is the big time.
And there's all kinds of little ancillary pickup stores. There's like Dunkin' Donuts. There's, oh my gosh, mega kind of food. And it's not just fast food. Like there's sushi bars, there's sports bars, there's one of my favorite hamburger joints, football watching place. I'm telling you, they have so much in the city of Maricopa, and it's very diverse. There's a ton of choices, a ton. Again, people in other affordable area suburbs, that is the number one complaint they have, is they don't have the diverse food choices. And I tell you, the city of Maricopa doesn't disappoint. But here's the other part that I really love. There's so many outdoor activities. Like for instance, there is the Copper Sky Community Center. Everybody in the city of Maricopa has access to this amazing community center. There's different rates for different people and different types of memberships. So if you wanted one part-time because you're a snowbird, or you want one full-time, or you're a family member, there's all kinds of things. Everything from swimming and pickleball. There is outdoor like spaces. There are parks areas. There's also fencing. There's yoga. There's golf. I'm telling you, there's all kinds of fun stuff that you can take classes for or participate at the events at the community center. There is also a casino. We're talking a Harrah's Auction Casino. And not only, I mean, the casino is like so entwined in the community. They do so many things. They have a golf course out there. They have a huge museum, which is super awesome, especially for visitors, but they have a casino. And the casino has not only, you know, the typical gambling stuff and food and everything, but they also have concerts out there. And they do, like I said, so many things. They do fundraisers and holiday bazaar. Yeah, that's what it's called, holiday bazaars. You can get fresh cut Christmas trees out this way. I'm telling you, they have Skydive Phoenix. Yes, this girl has jumped out of a plane, not this particular drop zone, but it's right here. There is also another golf course called the Duke. Do you know why they call it the Duke? Because John Wayne used to own a ton of land out here. That's why they call it the John Wayne Airport. Yeah, there's a little puddle jumper airport out here in the town of Maricopa as well. Well, it's in between Maricopa and Casa Grande. There is also, if you like, what do they call it? Sailplanes. There's a whole thing. There's a lot of land out here. And if you are really into cars, they have the Apex Motor Club, but that's a private club, but it's still pretty cool because there's a racetrack out that way. And there's a proposed surf park that's going to be going in.
All I need are some tasty waves, cool buzz, and I'm fine.
That's all in the city of Maricopa. And like I said, you're super close to the greater Phoenix area where you'll be able to enjoy a bunch of other things as well. Number 9, let's talk about roads. Okay, Again, I touched on it a little bit earlier in the video, and like I said, Interstate 10 is going to be widened. It is in the process of being done right now. 347 bringing you in from the Chandler area. There are 2 miserable stoplights. It kills you every time you go in and out of Maricopa, unless you don't have to go during commute hours. I obviously am out on the road, and I always make sure I'm out and about from like 10 to 12 or from 2 to 3. And I just stay off of major commute roads at those other times because I'm telling you, yeah, it can be miserable. But I'll tell you, with podcasts, that's going to be my backup there for you. If you live out in Maricopa and you have to drive home at 5:30, 6 p.m., just plan on taking a little bit longer. It's still surprisingly fast how quickly you can get through. There's literally, it's not like people coming across and craziness, and it's literally one straight road. It's 2 lights you got to get through. It will ease up over the next 3 to 5 years. There's a 0.5% of a sales tax in the greater Phoenix area, Maricopa County, that is going to those 347 improvements on the Maricopa County side, and Pinal County has also already committed to making that happen. The city of Maricopa is very focused on their community, and I really have to say, again, the difference between Santan Valley and Maricopa, I really feel, is Maricopa is a city off of a city, and it's kind of just a suburb, where Santan Valley is more of a country town. And so it's even more removed from the city, if you ask me. Maricopa is a young city, and it will continue to prosper as we see, again, another 70,000 people moving there over the next 50 years. And if you are one of those 15,000 people, you got to give us a call. We want to be your point of contact, whether you're buying this year or next year, or you just want to get informed on the market when the timing is right for you. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We want to be your go-to. Number 10. What could be number 10? It's not at the top of the list or bottom. This is just the 10th on my list. It is the proximity. The proximity compared to any of the lower priced communities. I love the proximity of the city of Maricopa. Not only will you be able to hit some trails, some of my favorite are the Estrella Mountains, also South Mountains, which are just going to be the South Mountain, which is only going to be about 20-25 minutes away on the weekends, right? When you have that free time and you can start exploring. There is some amazing employment that we've already talked about, just a hop and a skip, whether you head north or south. You're going to see Casa Grande even go start booming even more. That's going to be more kind of manufacturing and distribution kind of work, whereas technology is going to continue to boom in the Southeast Valley. The proximity to the greater Phoenix area, only being 30 minutes away, and I'm talking a major part of the greater Phoenix area, makes this a more ideal, affordable suburb than any of the other suburbs in the greater Phoenix area. Not only are you only 30 minutes away from the city of Chandler, but you also are only about 42 minutes away from the Phoenix airport, or you could pop over to Mesa Gateway. There are even more puddle jumper, smaller plane flights, very inexpensive, that it's going to be great freeway access from the city of Maricopa. There is massive shopping within close proximity to Maricopa that would be found in the city of Chandler and this town of Gilbert. Unfortunately, I have to say, though, When people say, how far is it from Scottsdale? I live in Chandler, and Scottsdale's too far to go out and have a good time and drive home safely. Check out the downtowns in the city of Chandler and the city of Gilbert. Otherwise, you're talking 45 minutes, maybe an hour to some of the parts in Scottsdale. So that part's not so good. All right, guys, you know what? There is so much more to tell you, and it's very personal, right? You have specific needs, wants, criteria, questions, so you just got to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. These nights or weekends, we got your back when moving to Phoenix, Arizona, and we want to hear from you today. Give us a call. All right, talk to you soon. Bye. Oh, by the way, did I mention we would love it if you would subscribe to our channel and share our video if you, nope, I don't like that. I don't know how to say that. If you have not yet subscribed, you need to tap that bell. You need to click that subscribe button. We want you to be notified every time we release a new video. Hey, if I didn't mention, we would love it if you would subscribe to our channel. That would certainly help. Thank you.